Temperature, Thermal Energy, and Heat Presentation by Irma Perez. What is heat? Heat is energy that flows as a result of a difference in temperature. Heat, like all other forms of energy, is measured in joules. What is temperature? When we think about temperature, we automatically think of something being either hot or cold, or temperature in a person. Temperature is the average kinetic energy of the molecules. Thermal energy, which is also known as heat energy, is produced when a rise in temperature causes atoms and molecules to move faster and collide with each other. The energy that comes from the temperature of the heated substance is also called thermal energy. The differences between thermal energy, temperature, and heat. Temperature is the average of the kinetic energy of all the particles of a substance. The movement of particles is what we measure as temperature. Temperature is measured in degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius, or Kelvin. Temperature is not an energy, it is a thermal state of a body or an object. Thermal energy is a form of energy that can remain stored in a system as a kinetic energy. Thermal energy is also responsible for any type of movement that occurs in a molecule within an object or a system. It is also a source. Thermal energy sources include electrical heat, waste heat, geothermal, and nuclear heat. Thermal energy is measured in joules and calorie. Thermal energy depends on the quality of an object or substance. Heat is a form of energy that flows from one object to another. Heat can move from a hot object to a cold object. Heat energy comes from natural sources such as coal, gas, and oil. Heat energy is a form of energy that is in transit, and thermal energy refers to the total energy of all the particles contained within a system and maintained at a specific temperature. Heat is measured in joules. Some of the similarities between thermal energy and heat is how they are both measured in joules. The similarities that all three have in common are that the more heated an object is, the higher the temperature of the object will have, which means that heat, thermal energy, and temperature do have some similarities. What is Celsius? The Celsius scale is a general use wherever the metric system of units is adapted, and it is used in scientific work every day. The Celsius scale is measured on a 0 degrees for the freezing point of water and 100 degrees for the boiling point of water. The Celsius scale was invented in 1742 by the Swedish astronomer Andreas Celsius. It is sometimes called the centigrade scale because of the 100-year degree interval between the defined points. The Celsius scale is used everywhere around the world except the United States, Belize, Palau, Bahamas, and the Cayman Islands. The Fahrenheit scale. The Fahrenheit scale of temperature is based on a 32 degree for the freezing point of water and a 212 degree for the boiling point of water, and the intervals between the two being divided into 180 equal parts. The Fahrenheit scale was created in the 18th century by a German physicist named Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, who originally took the zero of the scale, the temperature of an equal ice-salt water mixture, and selected the value of 30 and 90 for the freezing point of water, and the normal body temperatures respectively. These later were revised to 32 to 96, with the final scale required an adjustment to 98.6 for the later value. The countries that use the Fahrenheit scale are the United States, Belize, Palau, Bahamas, and the Cayman Islands. The Kelvin scale temperature. A temperature scale having an absolute zero below which temperatures do not exist. Absolute zero, or 0K, is the temperature at which molecular energy is a minimum, and it corresponds to the temperature of negative 273.15 degrees on the Celsius temperature scale. The Kelvin scale is an absolute temperature scale, was named for the British physicist William Thomson, who was also known as Lord Kelvin. No countries in the world use the Kelvin temperature for everyday measurements, but it is used by physicists and other scientists who need to record very precise temperatures. References. The end.